Welcome to my coverage of the 2025 Los Angeles Auto Show. I'm Tom Voelk. I'll be showing you around. What better place to start it than in front of the Los Angeles Lakers pickup truck? Did you know that the Los Angeles Lakers used to be the Minnesota Lakers? Kind of makes sense, huh? Lakers? Automobility LA, as it's officially known, is widely considered to be among the best in the world. Transportation is changing, and you'll see some glimpses of the future here. This is Media Day. I know a lot of folks have YouTube channels, but something tells me not all of these people are reporters with legit outlets. It can be a contact sport, so I'm ditching my pro camera for this. I'm going light and giving you only the highlights. Hey, I'm one guy. It's a huge show. For those thinking about researching a vehicle, you can talk with manufacturer reps, take test drives, and look at vehicles that won't be out for a while. The show has a good run. You have until November 30th to catch it. If you don't live in the Los Angeles area, you probably can't make it to the show. So let me show you around, give you the 30,000-foot view. Let's start with unobtainium, vehicles that are either concepts or wildly expensive. Hyundai's off-road-oriented Crater concept was quite the hit. This is an EV, the next size up from Ioniq 5. I've done a full video on this where I talk to the designers and go deep into the features. It's surprisingly functional for a concept. This may never be built as it stands here, but I would be shocked if some elements and the name Crater didn't show up on a production SUV. Chevrolet brought the Corvette CX concept to Los Angeles. This work of art might be worth the price of admission alone. In person, it's absolutely stunning. GM executives say it will have some influence on future Vettes. It's electric, and in concept car fantasy land, it moves with a motor at each wheel, good for 2,000 horsepower and active torque vectoring. To get into the cockpit, the whole front of the canopy opens up. Build it, Chevy, as close to this as physically possible. But hey, the C8 Vette that you can buy now is, pound for pound, the best performance value on the market. Not a concept, though it may as well be one, is the Alfa Romeo 33 Stradale. Only 33 will be made and all have been snatched up, so sorry, you're already too late. Since only 3 or so are coming to the United States, this might be the only way you'll ever get to see one. Top speed is 207 miles an hour with a twin-turbo V6 making 620 horses. If you can somehow talk one of the reservation owners out of their place in line, be prepared to fork out some $2.2 million and a bit extra for jumping the queue, I would imagine. The Alfa shares some components with the Maserati MC Pura, the successor to the MC20. Power is similar, and friendships will be tested when discussing which looks better, the 33 or the Pura. The Maserati is the choice of the budget-minded, if 280 grand is more reasonable for your situation. Also, chances are more than 33 Puras will be made. Scout blurs the line between concept and production vehicles since the Traveler SUV and Terra pickup here in LA are hand-built units. If you're thinking about buying a Scout, it's a great way to see what Volkswagen has in mind since these won't be available for a while, 2027 at the earliest. This is my first experience with them in the flesh, and I can see the appeal. For starters, lots of heritage. I like the trim that looks like engineered wood, and 3 across seating in the front row is pretty uncommon. Scout is an EV. Both trucks should have 350 miles of range, and there's the option of a gas engine range extender. A lot of cool reveals at the show. Here are some of my favorites, starting with this one. The Ioniq 6N builds on all the goodness that is the Ioniq 5N. I've done a full separate video on this car that goes into great detail. Just know that the 6 has a lower center of gravity and better aerodynamics than the 5, and many of the performance electronics have been massaged and refined. I am very much looking forward to driving this car on a track. Genesis brought the GV60 Magma to the show. The brand is refocusing to become luxury high performance. You shall know Magma by its unique 3-hole bumper and the rear wing. You're not going to miss that. But it's not just cosmetics. There's up to 650 horsepower on tap. Remember, this is built on Hyundai's eGMP platform, same as Ioniq 5N and 6N. And any driving dynamic similarities are welcome. Kia showed the second-generation Telluride to the public for the first time. I did a preview video on the X Pro trim. Many of my colleagues find the grille of the standard versions much more appealing. X Pro looks a little plain. And the interior has more pop, especially in the raspberry colorway. Yes, this really is a shade of purple. Do not adjust your screen. It was also announced that Telluride will ditch the V6 for 2.5-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder power that offers more torque than the 6, or go with a hybrid powertrain for the first time in a Telluride. With all the attention on the new Telluride, the production version of the K4 hatchback wasn't getting the love it should. To my eye, this is better looking than the sedan, and really more like a station wagon than a hatchback. I'm interested to see how this will be embraced by the public. Auto writers love wagons, but they seem to be disappearing from the market. It's been a couple years since Cherokee has graced Jeep showroom floors. The 2026 version loses the bar of soap styling, embracing the boxy fashion that the much-loved XJ version wore so well. And it's a hybrid now with fuel economy in the range of 37 miles per gallon. The interior is an upgrade from the outgoing model. Jeep is making an effort to woo shoppers away from the all-new Toyota RAV4 that is now strictly a hybrid. You'll have a chance to see that at the show as well. I did a full video on 3 trim levels, so check that out. Pathfinder has been a hit for Nissan. It gets a mid-cycle refresh for 2026. Of course, that means updated fascias, front and rear. Move to the inside and you'll find larger 12.3-inch touchscreens across the board. This is a roomy rig with V6 power that people overlook. Across the aisle is the Rogue plug-in hybrid. If I told you that it has 3 rows, an all-electric range of 28 miles, and styling like this, would it remind you of anything? Mitsubishi Outlander PHEV, maybe? Yeah. And that's okay, that vehicle won at Mudfest a few years back. And last but not least at the Nissan booth, the Z Heritage Edition. This one gets my vote for Best Paint in Show. Is it purple? Is it green? Yes. I bet this is amazing in the sunlight. Midnight Purple, as it's called, was used on the GTR. And what's this? A 6-speed manual? Yes, please. Angelinos will get their first look at the Subaru Outback. That's less station wagon now, more SUV. Also, more in your face. There's a lot of talk about electric vehicles, that sales are way down. Personally, I think that's temporary. And here at the LA show, there was a lot of EV action. I've already covered Ioniq 6N and Scout. Toyota, that has been famously late to the party with pure electric vehicles, is showing off the improved BZ, no longer the BZ4X, that's available right now, plus the BZ Woodland, which is not just a trim level. It's longer and roomier, also more handsome. It seems as though every single one of their electric vehicles is getting the same interior. That saves money, and that is the Toyota way. This and the new all-electric CHR won't be out until sometime around summer, so if you're interested in seeing either of these vehicles, head to the Los Angeles show for your first peek. And while the Subaru booth is quite a walk past the famous Pet Adoption Center, things look awfully familiar there with the Trail Seeker that in profile looks exactly the same as Woodland, and the Uncharted, that's the twin of the CHR. Yeah, the front and rear fascias are different, and the purple undertones of the Uncharted's roof is kind of cool, but not much effort was put into differentiating the two brands. If it makes a difference, all 4 vehicles run with NACS. In the new, but not new category, yes, the Chevy Bolt is back. It also sports a NACS port. The guts of this car are very different from the outgoing Bolt EUV that the body resurrects. There's only one Bolt now. There's a new front end and slightly different rump. The real difference is inside. It gets a full makeover with upgraded screens and more storage slots and cubbies than I had time to count. I could put this in the affordable category since it begins at around $30,000. Also budget-friendly is the all-new Nissan Leaf, and this is a good place to check it out since they're only now trickling into dealerships. They start at just over 30 grand, not including the bicycles. Want to tackle boulders and get as much fresh air as possible? Then you'll want the new Jeep Recon. Effectively, it's an all-electric Wrangler with a range of 250 miles and massive amounts of horsepower and torque, 650 and 620 respectively. I've been off-roading in EVs and the experience is transformative. The silence allows you to enjoy nature. The power band is perfect for getting through tough terrain. This won't be cheap, starting at around $67,000 with destination, but it could offer some of the best rock crawling in the biz. And if you're curious what it looks like with the doors on, here you go. Looking forward to driving this one for sure. Should be out by spring of 2026. Volvo brought its new minivan. Okay, kidding, it does make one, but this obviously isn't it. The Swedes did bring the newest version of its pocket rocket EX30, the Cross Country. It gets all the oomph of the dual-motor EX30, but rides a little higher and gets a revised suspension and all-terrain tires. The cabin gets a little bit more of a rugged look, too. There's also a new affordable single-motor EX30 that starts under 40 grand that I drove while I was here in Los Angeles. I'll have a story on that soon. These vehicles are a blast to drive. Over at the Lucid booth, they were serving up espresso, people were lined up for that, and a first look at the newest version of the Gravity SUV, the Touring trim. It's more affordable, starting at around $80,000 for a 5-seat version. A third row is optional. It'll make it easier for families to get into this all-electric people mover. There is less horsepower at 560, but that's still mighty good. Range is rated at 327 miles, so if you're charging up every night, you're good to go. And remember that Lucid's charging architecture is wicked fast, so juicing up on the road will be a cinch. Chevrolet has a new version of the Silverado EV called Trail Boss. It's more off-road capable, so maybe go join your friend with the Jeep Recon. There's a lot of talk that cars and trucks are just too expensive these days. Here at the LA show, there are affordable choices. Under 30 grand, you're looking at Nissan Kicks that can be had well equipped with all-wheel drive. There's the Leaf and Bolt that we covered before, plus the all-new Sentra. It's hard to option this up past the $30,000 mark. The Sentra looks much more expensive than that and has a very nice interior. Don't forget, that's what you stare at the most, so it's important. It even has LED ambient lighting. While it doesn't have tons of power, it will carry 5 people fairly comfortably. It's worth checking out. And while I didn't get video of them, Chevrolet Trax, Buick Envista, Honda HR-V, Toyota Corolla, Hyundai Elantra, and lower trims of the Kia K4 are pretty darn affordable. And they're new with a warranty. And finally, Volkswagen didn't really have anything new to display, but it does get points for a tearjerker moment. This photo became wildly famous after the Pacific Palisades fire as a symbol of hope. While Azul looked pretty good on one side, not so much on the other, plus there was a lot of smoke damage. Volkswagen tracked down owner Megan Weinrob and offered to restore Azul as a gesture. Azul will be here at the show, and then move to the Peterson Museum for a brief display if you want to see it. My picks for Best in Show? Well, let's start here. Yeah, to wrap this up, I was very smitten with the Jeep Recon. It looks great and has tons of potential. I also feel the Corvette CX concept is art on the level of the sculpture David. And as concept cars go, the Hyundai Creta is a home run. As far as production vehicles go, it looks like Kia has another hit with the second generation Telluride, and the addition of a hybrid powertrain should make it even more popular than ever. Hope you got something out of my look at the 2025 Los Angeles Auto Show. Allow me to leave you with my best car shopping advice. Come to an auto show, because you don't have to go from dealership to dealership to dealership. You'll see things that are off your radar screen, plus things are fresh in your mind. And remember, test drive at least 3 different vehicles, okay? Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel, follow me on social media, and if you have a question, leave it in the comments. I'm very good about getting back to people. For Driven, I'm Tom Voelk.